Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Brightworks and another exciting match of Beyond Our Reason. Folks, I'm so excited to record today's video. I've been thinking about what I wanted to tell you, all the exciting stuff that's going to be coming up today, and I'm just thrilled to be on the microphone sharing with you some opportunities that are going to be coming up here, and what an exciting month it's going to be as we traverse into, out of this month and into February. Let's meet our team leaders, and I'll share all those juicy details with you. Spawning on the southern side today of failed negotiations, representing the blue team is a Cortex commander. Spawning on the island position here on the far right-hand side. Bit of an interesting position. Can't wait to see what our blue team leader does. They go by the name of Narnak. Narnak, our German team leader, going to be representing the blue team here with 40 true skill. Wow, that's definitely well into the pro levels at this point. 40 true skill and a little silver tail poking out between the chevrons there. Gonna be showing us what they have here on failed negotiations. Now representing the red team all the way up here in the high ground and spawning as a Cortex commander as well, it's gonna be Sus Cheese. Sus Cheese, a name we've seen around quite a few times. This game was actually submitted by Angry Strawberry over on the Discord channel, which you can always feel free to join via the link down below in the description section. Put that in the link. Put that link to all the descriptions in case you miss one video. I know you guys watch every single video, but in case you miss one, the description will always have the relevant links over there. What it'll also have a link to is the Twitch channel. And the reason why you might be interested in joining up on the Twitch channel is because in the month of February, next month, the Bar Pro League is going to be starting up again. The Bar Pro League is a league run by my good friend, Barcast TV. It's a 1v1 tournament series where some of the very best Beyond Our Reason players play in a 1v1 format, similar to the, I believe it's the Code S for StarCraft, one of the biggest StarCraft tournaments. It's mirrored the way that the whole tournament is lined up. I am an amateur as far as organizing those events go. Barcast definitely does an excellent job of putting on a tremendous show over there, and I'm always happy to help out whatever way I can. And in this case, what I'm going to be doing this time is practicing and doing my very best to make it as far into the 1v1 championships as I possibly can. So, intermittently over on the Twitch channel, I'm going to be streaming my practice runs. I'm going to be streaming practice games. I'm going to be training against AI, training against opponents, try and find some fun folks to go up against, some high-level people to absolutely destroy me, and you guys are always more than welcome to come watch that. Shouldn't interfere with the regular streams Tuesdays and Saturdays, but I do incentivize any of you to come on down and check it out because I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And that tournament is going to be a blast. So the North American qualifier starts on the 10th here. Let me just pull up my, actually, I'll pull this up so I have all the details right in front of me here. Yeah, okay, so the North American qualifiers is on the 10th, and then the round of 16 matches are on the 17th. And then the finals, the round of 8 finals, are going to be on the 24th. So it's the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Saturday of February. It's going to be a fun month of good old-fashioned, Beyond All Reason beatdowns, 1v1 pros, clashing heads, bashing noggins, trying to do the very most damage they possibly can to their opponents. But anybody is welcome to sign up and join those. So you, yes you, right there on the other side of that monitor, you're more than welcome to go try out, sign up, and compete against me along with some of the other famous Beyond Our Reason players who are going to be throwing their hats into the rings out there. It should be a whole lot of fun. Okay. How about some Beyond All Reason, huh? No, I wanted to share that with all of you because I knew it was going to be exciting, and I'm certainly excited. I know you guys are going to be excited as well. This match is already underway. I've spent enough time. We're 3 minutes into this match. We should already be looking at a T2 transition. Indeed, we do see Fiddler going for a T2 transition here, representing the blue team as the green commander. We probably have something similar getting ready to go down here. Interesting. Not quite. I'm surprised that we don't... Yeah, it looks like looks like Sustree's trying to convince Balerion the Dread to go into a little bit of eco over here. Yeah, we're a little late on the T2 transition right here for the red team. That's actually a little bit of a misplay right now. With how many positions there are on this map, it's definitely well worth it for at least one player to be a dedicated eco player. Typically, whoever claims this geothermal is going to be a little bit better suited. The blue team failing to claim the geothermal over here, which is a little bit of an oversight. The red team claiming the geothermal, but neither of these players going for eco, which is a little bit funny. So both teams making a little bit of a mistake right there in their sort of macroscopic scale. But overall, I think they're essentially going to cancel out with each other and be a non-issue. Yeah. Resbots have already scoured the land clean here. Oh, and Resbots picking apart the constructor right there. Okay, they actually get it. All right. Resbots with a kill. When's the last time you've seen one of those? Janice up here on the front line helping tremendously to keep this, front line well checked here. Cash money flows, making a noted point with twin missile launchers that, yeah, this land not up for grabs right now. Such Cheese has something to say about it, though, as those D-guns are killer and managed to shut down not one, not two, but the entire army here for the Lavender player. Finally, a medium tank hits the field right now, but suddenly, yeah, the advantage is all the way in Such Cheese's favor here. He's got more and more of these aggravators making it to the front line. They're going to be testing that beautiful 4.8 metal per second spot up here in the middle. There's two of them, but they're going to be at the very least contesting this one on the right-hand side here. Very nicely done by our red commander. Also, transport over here being pinged around. Looks like Strawberry is asking for it again, trying to get a transport, probably to move the commander around all over the place. There's a lot of metal extractors on this map, but they're all spread out very far apart here, so using those transport to move the commanders around is actually really, really nice to see. Cheeky Submarine has been snuck out on the left-hand side. Crop rotation, using that submarine as a little bit of a scout, a little bit of a harass here. Submarine's obviously the first unit that you're going to be able to produce that can actually do any damage to a naval economy, because you have to attack those metal extractors that are under the water. So I really like to see that we've gone for the submarine rush, especially on a map like this where the rush distance is so tremendous. I think it really makes a whole lot of sense. Commander sacrifice in the backlines here for Balerion the Dread. Going to be going into a T2 lap here, but very, very slow comparatively to the, well, at the very least, the green commander over here. Already has the T2 constructor up and running. We might have even handed a few of them out here. Maybe. No, it doesn't look like it. Haven't quite handed them out here. We also have a second techer, I suppose. Diamota, or DY Diamota. No, Diamotoya. Diamotia? I'm not sure exactly. Seafoam Green Commander. Gonna be going into a T2 lab here, making some of those Cortex T2, and I think that's quite nice. You do want a good mix of the Cortex and the Armada T2. Oh, another commander goes down over here. Is that a sacrifice? Oh, no, that was a snipe. That was an excellent little snipe right there. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be Strawberry's commander going down right next to Narnok's commander, but all that juicy, juicy metal is going to be going back to the blue commander right now, and the blue commander desperately needs it. Oh, actually going to res one. Okay. Could be well worth it. Strawberry getting a little greedy. I think she was trying to do that cheeky play where you transport the commander over in this direction and use it to sweep away all of these metal extractors over here. Certainly does a lot of damage, but instead getting caught over here and instead losing the commander. It's going to be resurrected here slowly but very surely, and that's going to be a nice little metal boost for the blue commander, who now has 2 labs up and running producing units. I think we should probably turn this one off and eat it up and move all the production forward here. Don't see any reason why we wouldn't. Dog 1 is open, now suffering at the hands of these units. Ah, they're actually not taking a very efficient trade, though. That torpedo launcher is going to equalize things here. Yeah. I actually don't like that. Suddenly, Narnok has thrown away a significant portion of that advantage and wreckages, actually, on the other side of the map. Yeah, if we take a look at our metal vision right now, this is going to be a solid 500, 600, 700 metal. Yeah, almost half the metal that he got from that commander, now lying at the bottom of the ocean right now. Ugh. Does not sit well with me. Red team capturing this middle section quite nicely here. I'd love to see a gauntlet or an agitator put up here on the front lines. Rare is it that you will ever see me suggest such blasphemy, but I think on this map and in this specific situation, it makes a whole lot of sense. Go for one of those very expensive T1, T1 static defense structures while you have such an overwhelming advantage over here, and it'll probably do a decent amount of damage if someone tries to run anything by. A couple of Rocketeers here. Going for a little bit of aggression. That's odd. Typically not the assault unit that we see, but I suppose they can do a decent amount of damage here. They've already torn through some of the countryside, taking down some metal extractors here. Cash Money Flows doing an excellent job of highlighting everything. Love the artistic renditions that we get in Beyond All Reason. One of my favorite features of this game. Everybody gets to unleash their inner artist. This is overwhelming. Yeah, we're seeing a very overwhelming push right here. We have, oh no, pawns in the backline tearing apart the entire economy right now for Cash Money Flows. Oh, this is not good. Well, not good for the Lavender Commander anyway. Strawberry has just got to be tickled absolutely pink about the fact that all these damage is being done on the other side of the map essentially for free here. Blitz tank will take down a whole bunch of those pawns, but eventually it gets shot down itself. If we could snipe those constructors, that would be fabulous here. I don't think Strawberry is going to be able to get it before this Blitz cleans it all up. Well, maybe. Barring some atrocious micro, it looks like it won't be the case here. Cash Money Flows manages to clean up those pawns, but at what cost? I mean, it's tremendous. 1, 2, 3, 4-ish metal extractors went down, commander went down, and the entire army was lost. This is a overwhelming opener right here for the yellow and the red commanders. Dogwood is open now, in a little bit of trouble here. Yeah, those depth charges are firing away here. And they don't do as much damage as torpedo launchers do, but it doesn't matter. Still very devastating to those commanders, and down goes another commander kill here. That puts 2 commander kills on the board for Narnuk right now, so that's quite nice. And this commander is almost resurrected up here. I actually like the choice to resurrect here. Oftentimes we'll see commanders just go for the metal right out the gate, but I think it does make a lot of sense. Ooh, we have the res subs coming in here. That's quite nice. Well, if we could catch these, I would really like it. Yeah. Move the destroyers in and catch those res subs. Try and prevent them from eating up that metal. Obviously going to be quite nice. Nicely done. Yeah, destroyers find those resurrection subs and stop them from eating up too much of those corpses here. There's a constructor ship as well, going to start eating up the corpses. It's feasting on a destroyer, but it'll get that commander here eventually as well. Big old constant aggression over on this side as we see these Rocketeers going back and forth at it. Sheldon now hitting the front line. Sheldon singular. Hitting the front line here and going to be scaring back some of the Maroon forces for Tom Bomballin. Yeah, those Rocketeers. Suffering greatly at the hands of those T2 that are just going to be able to shell away so much more efficiently from such a greater distance that it's not really going to be viable for the Maroon commander to stay in the fight over here. This naval battle has been thoroughly won by the purple commander. It's not quite lavender. I guess it's just, yeah, just purple. Just a royalty purple commander over here. A violet, maybe? Maybe a violet commander? That seems like the right color. I don't know. Crop rotation, gonna be, at the very least, trying to keep these units alive. He did have a repair command going on here. We're also building that radar to try and help out as well. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna give those destroyers a little bit more vision of what they're launching depth charges at under the seas here. Heavy laser tower. On the way, but not done yet. Ooh, it's close. There we go. 60% of the way through. I do believe the destroyers can outrange that thing, so there's not really any reason to trade out inefficiently here. But I suppose you're going to kill it a little bit faster, and maybe just getting that off of your back going to be a little bit more comfortable for crop rotation, who has firm control over this massive reclaim field right here and should be able to easily transition this into T2 or an overwhelming T1 victory right here. Either one of those options is good. I'm not sure which one crop rotation is more comfortable with, but I would certainly go for the T2 transition. With how big the T1 army is right now, and how little forces there are, and as far as T1 goes on the map right now, I would say T2 is probably a very safe bet right there for the purple commander. Sushi's army is looking massive as well. Are we going into T2? We are indeed. So I hadn't seen any reinforcements coming up here. I'd actually like to see this commander eating up a lot of these agitators here. There's not going to be a whole lot of reason to keep them around once you have access to those Sheldon. They're just not powerful enough. Console building a rattlesnake on the front line. I quite like that. I thought the gauntlet or the agitator would be a good idea. It turns out the rattlesnake is the final plan, showing me up by 1 level, and I think that's a great point. Babar doing an excellent job building some static defense out here. We've also got some construction turrets that are going to keep it alive should it receive some sort of bombardment or beshellment. Should be quite nice. Already a force of hounds making their way across the map here for Strawberry, trying to get some sort of efficient damage done here, and the hounds are definitely the unit for it. We've seen just how menacing those hounds can be, especially if they're used in the right place and at the right time here. Yeah, this naval battle is also turning in the favor of the blue commander. Right now, the blue team looking overwhelming in the seas, I have to say. Very, very nicely played here by the blue team to keep their seas heavily contested and making sure to keep the pressure overwhelming here. Submarine does get blasted apart here. Ooh, it costs a destroyer, though. That's nice. Every destroyer down is, well, just a little bit of metal stripped off of the purple economy, but at this point the commander is marching in. Oh no. Yeah, we do have res subs here. Those should also go around resurrecting or reclaiming. Either one would be fine. There's enough vehicles here that we have to respect it as the red commander, but as soon as these, yeah, fiends hit the front line, it's going to be all over for all that T1. Those T1 tanks just don't move quick enough. The only thing that's going to do any considerable damage to those fiends is a bunch of Januses, and there's, well, not really enough Januses here to warrant that kind of aggression. Oh, and now there's no Januses here. All right, time for the fiends to make their debut. Cloaked metal extractor here. That's quite nice. We don't see those used all too often, but they're a niche but effective tool in the Armada kit. Oh, maybe we could self-destruct it. Oh, self-destruct it, please. Oh, that would be wonderful if we self-destruct this right now. I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, come on, destroy it. I'm waiting on the EMP right now. It's not gonna happen. It's so disappointing. I would have loved to see this self-destructed right here by the Lavender Commander. Could self-destruct it and catch so many. Oh, well, okay. It's still caught about half of these aggravators, rather. Not bad. Hounds in their Gauss mode. Nicely done right here by the Green Commander. Keeping things nice and orderly here. Using that Gauss mode in order to shut down the Fiends. Absolutely the right decision. Looks like we have the EMP rework enabled as well, so that's quite nice. Switching the Hounds out of their Gauss mode into their heavy plasma mode once they're fighting stationary units. Nicely done here. We're seeing some expert control right now by the green player here. Nice positioning by the Golovkin as well. Mopping up a whole lot of those Hounds from Strawberry. What a nice little catch right there by the Cyan Commander. Couple of Fiends still, or a couple of Sheldon rather, still alive for the Cyan Commander. But aside from those, the Commander is basically bare on the front lines. Gotta be so careful about those Fiends. They can melt away a Commander quicker than you could say Cortex versus Armada. Always fun to try and think of something to say for that phrase. Yeah, Shuriken being very powerful here, though. Turning these Hounds into an absolutely formidable force. Very nicely done. Looks like this line will eventually be broken by a whole bunch of welders. When you need a sturdy bot to put in front of your artillery, the welder is definitely the bot of choice here for the Armada faction. Cortex might reach for the Sumo, they might reach for the Mammoth. Armada, it's very simple. You just reach for the welder, and you're satisfied. Yeah, the Shuriken Hound combo right here is very devastating, though. Because these units are paralyzed, the Hounds can afford to stay in their heavy plasma mode, meaning they do a whole lot more damage. It makes them so much more effective here, not to mention the vision from the Shuriken, of course. Fiends coming in for a little bit of a Hound sandwich right now. Gonna melt away a lot of those green doggies. Oh, and down go the remainder defensive forces right here. Shuriken's still up in the air, though, so we can at least paralyze a whole lot of these, but yeah, that definitely hurts. The Green Commander gonna be forced to rebuild an army right now. I think I would probably go for welders. I think welders probably make a whole lot of sense. Resurrecting. I feel like resurrecting a destroyer at this point probably not going to be worth it. Are we capturing right here? Oh, that's just lovely. Yeah, I think we're capturing. Oh, maybe not. Oh, no, never mind. Never yes? Hard to say. Can't tell what's going on over there, but either way, crop rotation has swept through this entire side over here. Swept through so nicely, in fact, that they've actually managed to wrap all the way around the backside and are now attacking the naval forces on the right-hand side that were aggressing against the blue. Very nicely done. So now Narnak has a little bit of support over here. Yeah, no reinforcements for this army, so Narnak essentially can feel free to engage this army as leisurely as they feel, and there's not really going to be any repercussion because even if it's an inefficient trade, it still beats a non-growing army. In other words, any amount of growing is going to outscale the stagnant army here. That's not to say that the orange player is completely stagnant. We do have a little bit of build power coming up in the backline here. We're trying to regrow the economy, kindle it from the ashes, if you will. But this is not looking good, especially for the brown commander here as well, Kyril, who was essentially eliminated from this map. Crop rotation making his way around, trying desperately to shut down any remainder forces here. Yeah, Kyril going to be forced onto land here, trying to rebuild an economy from scratch. Always a tricky position to be in. Hopefully that commander can find their way back into this game sometime or another. Construction turrets over here, actually quite nice. Helping repair a whole lot of the damage on these ships. I think there's just too much metal right here and boats for the blue player, though. Eventually fighters are pulled to shut down some of those Shuriken. Always nice to see. Air support. Never come in soon enough. These torpedo launchers actually getting a tremendous amount of value here. Yeah, you know what? I don't mind the self-D. Yeah, if we're gonna lose all these units and these ships and everything already anyways, we might as well not give any more metal to the opponent here. Torpedo ships coming in hot. Gonna be making a nice difference. Link 74 showing us what they've got in the backline here. Going for a pretty nice eco build. This is definitely pretty well refined. 18 minutes into this, and we've got one APHIS already up and running. We're starting on the second one here. We've got plenty of metal in the bank as well. There we go. Air is finally pulled for the blue team. Definitely a very late response right here. Not going to be able to clean up, well, the majority of the forces that were just lost right there. I suppose the entire force has been equalized here. Oh, that's a unfortunate hit for Strawberry to take right on the nose right there. Yeah, those Fiends just ravaged the economy. At least the advanced fusion reactor stays standing, but losing all those energy converters really, really hurts. Once those go down, it can often be, well, especially the build power as well. Once all that goes down, it can be really, really difficult to rebuild here. There is some build power that was spared over on the right-hand side, so maybe that'll be able to get some value out here, but for the time being, Strawberry going to be very low on production. There we go. A whole bunch of fighters now finally engaging against these torpedo bombers. We're starting to shoot them out of the sky, but these are just T1 fighters going up against T2, and these are T2 planes. Those Nighthawks are going to have a feast shitting down these T1 fighters over here. Yeah, there's no competition between those T1 and the T2. Looks like a Despot has come up and online. It's quite nice. Going to be showing away at a lot of these land-based forces here. So some sharpshooters coming out. They're not built up in mass though, so we don't have enough to go for a significant push right now. But I think eventually we'll probably get there. Crop rotation. Okay, there we are. Yeah, I was going to say we should probably move the commander around. Just go claim all these metal extractors. No reason not to. Inflate the economy like crazy. We have gone up to a T2 lab here. We're upgrading the metal extractors. It's nice to see. Missile ship going to be very annoying for the red team to deal with. Big old nuclear illustration right here by Dog 1 is open. We can see where the spare APM has gone after being pushed out of the ocean. I appreciate it. Yeah, Dog 1 is open, just going for an eco. Just trying desperately to rebuild on the ashes here. We're actually overflowing, or yeah, we were floating metal. Now we're starting up the fusion reactor, so that's not an issue anymore. Nicely done, though. I mean, it's basically what you've got to do. Your only option is to get back into the water here with some sort of play. Some sort of dramatic play, right? Going for T3 hovercraft, or going for, you know, some sort of extremely late game gamble. It's going to leave you very vulnerable. Pretty much the only feasible option. Sheldon and Hounds make for one hell of a wombo combo. The Sheldon do quite a lot of damage, but it's spread out between the very many shots that they take. The Hounds do just a little bit less of that. Their fire is a little bit more concentrated, but they don't have quite the same reach as those Hounds. Spybot here really tying it all together, though, and making this composition just about as deadly as it possibly could be. Despot off the coast here, able to reach out onto the shoreline and fire away with tremendous effectiveness. Going to be extremely good, even against the T2. It's funny, the Spybot and the Commander almost collided over there. Tom Bomb ballin', going against some nice D-guns against the Hounds over there. Carves away about half the D-guns. The explosion takes out the remainders. Nicely done right there. Do we have another? Yeah, there's another Spybot over here. We can certainly see this start to come on over in this direction and help out. Try and clear out some of those maroon forces. Very nicely done. Strawberry working on the build power right now, trying to get that back into the game. Missile ships harassing this shoreline over here. There's some pit bulls. There's a rattlesnake that already went down. There's some pit bulls that are still standing. I'm still standing even after all this time. Should be the anthem of the pit bull. I feel like those things are so resilient, especially when they're tucked into their little turtle shells. Lightning tanks over here. Feels dangerous to use lightning tanks on a water map like this, but maybe that's just me. There they go. Pushing on up the shoreline here. Welders, like I said before though, so sturdy. Basically the perfect defensive unit for this situation here. Very nicely done. Oh, this destroyer getting such an effective trade over here against these units. Yeah, you just can't fight into a full-blown T2 battleship like this. You really need proper T3 players. Otherwise, you're just never going to be able to clear those battleships. They're just too resilient. They pack such a massive wallop. We are up to 3 missile ships over here. It's definitely enough to start doing some serious bombardment, and indeed, we're going to target down the advanced geo over here, so that's quite nice. Going to shut down a little bit of that energy production that Strawberry is relying on right now as far as economy goes. Well, you know, I say that. There's actually plenty of advanced metal extractors here, too. If I select like that and then clear all of those, we should be left with more or less the economy here for Strawberry, which is, or the metal extractor economy for Strawberry, which is about 51 metal per second, which is phenomenal. Definitely well enough to do T2. Yeah, I agree. Bombers, torpedo bombers, ready to move in here. There is some anti-air boats, so at the very least, those are going to have a bit of a hard time. Can these? Oh, they actually can reach out all that way. Yeah, these are told to. These have been set to target fire this area, so they're not having much effect right now. T3 gantry coming up right now for Dog 1 is open. Are we going to go for cataphracts? I think cataphracts make a lot of sense. Shiva, I don't know about Shiva. I think cataphracts are probably going to be your best bet here because they can hit those boats. They can also fire depth charges, all that good stuff. I think that probably makes a little bit more sense here. Shiva not going to be able to really save you from the naval forces so much. Being said, there is a growing navy right here from Link 74. Nicely done, actually, by the Pink Commander, realizing, hey, you know what? We lost both of our navies. Maybe that's an area where I can help out the team. And so, indeed, getting a couple of those boats out, going to start moving them across here. They do find the radar ship. They find the anti-air ship. Nice. This is a good engagement for the Hot Pink player. Just about as good an engagement as you could really hope for. 3 Buccaneers teaming up against 1. Obviously going to be an advantage for the Hot Pink player. Yeah, uh-oh. I think Narnak got a little overconfident here. Thought they had completely won the naval battle and there was going to be no contest. Not expecting a quick naval transition right there. Marauder also out and available here for Sushtis. They're going to be tearing on down the way, headed right to the most heavily fortified area, which is always ironic to see. But sometimes you get that sort of blindsidedness where you start attacking one area, and so the enemy starts defending it, and you can only see that as the one opportunity path. Obviously, these players are working on cell-shaded information, right? They don't know exactly what's going on exactly the same way that we do. They only see half the map. That fog of war mechanic is real, and it clouds often the judgment of the many. Still, I don't think it's going to matter. These Marauder basically ignored all that T1 defense and headed on into the main base of the, well, both green players, both Seafoam and Cyan, or Neon Green. There go a couple of the fusion reactors. Well, one of them pops. Commander trying to rush back to save the day over here. Oh, that could be a killer D-gun. Nice, we get, oh, all of them go down. Nice D-gun right there. Diamatya. Manages to clean up those Marauders. Tremendous amount of damage over here on the left-hand side, but at the very least minimizing that damage and doing the very best that they can. Wow, what a nice little reversal over here. Indeed, the Pink Commander doing an excellent job of recovering here. Something just popped over on this side. Oh, it was these missile ships. Oh, missile ships popped the base over on this side here. Yeah, the light pink player completely shutting that off. Well, that's a little bit of a burner. Definitely hurts. The backline's now ravaged for basically both of these teams on opposite sides of the map here. This is a huge advantage for the pink player, though, over in the seas. Yeah, there's actually not a crazy army right now. Marauder also sweeping through, trying to take out this commander that was resurrected here for Narnak. Hey, D-guns, I think it's going to mean the death of that commander. Indeed, it will. Lab was produced, probably to make sure it can, but that's not going to happen. Those Marauders shut it down pretty quickly here. Significant ball, but not nearly as mobile as those T3 units over here. We do have Razorbacks, which is quite nice. They're going to be able to, well, basically break any defensive line you've got over here. Termites also holding the lines. Again, I don't think going to be really enough here to sedate the Razorbacks, but I think that many Marauder is probably going to do the job. Very tricky battle. A couple of destroyers have been, battleships rather. They're called despots, and I get them confused with destroyers, but they are the battleship here for Cortex. That Cerberus-mounted cannon up on their deck, I suppose. Their aft deck. YouTube, please don't ban me for that. Very powerful ship indeed. Certainly going to be enough to deal with missile ships, which are not ideal for ship-to-ship combat. Definitely a siege weapon, in the purest sense of the word. Marauder swarming across the beaches over here. Not taking what you could consider to be the most efficient of fights here, but eventually it won't really matter. They're strong enough, they're fast enough, they do enough damage, they're gonna be able to break through over here. Take down a commander, take down the fusion reactor. Nice push through with these Marauder over here. Razorbacks coming back to try and save the day here. Tons and tons of Sheldon. We've definitely hit that critical mass of Sheldon, but they're just so immobile compared to those T3 units. They really can't keep up, and they're just not going to be able to clean up a lot of those Marauder. Nice splits over here. Going to peel off a couple of them and send them over in this direction. Remainder Marauders will be cleaned up by these Razorbacks eventually, but not before popping a whole bunch of energy converters, a whole bunch of build power, a whole bunch of everything lost here. And this Marauder manages to squeak away here, too. Boy, doesn't that burn a little bit. The Marauder who got away. Sounds like a song Katy Perry might write a song about. Or subject she might write a song about. Taylor Swift, I mean. Sorry. Who wrote the one that got away? Am I thinking of the right pop star here? Somebody can let me know down in the comments. I'm sure somebody will know. We're looking at full-blown T3 at this point. We're well into the T3 stage, but both teams are a little bit stunned from the aggression that's happened. Everybody kind of taking account of what exactly has been lost and what exactly has been won, seeing if they can still stay in this game here. Tremendous kudos to the pink player for keeping on. Has a whole bunch of Twitchers at their disposal, so probably handed over by another commander. Nicely done. It's one of those things that we often see experienced players being very well aware of, but oftentimes some of the newer ones are just a little bit more ignorant of, is just how valuable those that build power can be in the late game. When you lose your entire base, 3 or 4 Twitchers can be extremely useful. Nice little bombing run there. It takes out the flak cannon as well as the fusion reactor. Nice little bombing run right there. It's going to mean that these Stormbringers have these Hailstorms rather, have a second pass at this base over here. Unfortunately, they're going to be bombing the middle of nowhere, but the AoE on those will be enough such that it takes out the T2 lab right here, and that's very annoying for Tom Bombalin. I think that's a Lord of the Rings character, right? Isn't that the sort of like omnipotent hobo character, if I remember correctly? Yeah, I think I remember correctly. I think I like that guy. I think that was a pretty, I think I remember that being a pretty funny character. Shiva marching their way under the seas and across the way, trying to make some sort of an amphibious assault over here. Could do. Oh, heavy hits right there on that boat. Down goes the ship. Yeah, the Shiva are spotted for the first time by Narnak, and it looks like also the Glotkin noticed as well. Very difficult to deal with over here. We also have a Razorback and Marauder push clashing against some, well, similar forces over here. Is that a mirror matchup? It is almost identically mirrored for the Lavender player versus the red player there. That's funny. Thought one pawn might make it through. Not going to be the case here. Yeah, these T3 units dancing around each other. They know that they can't take a full-on engagement. The red commander can't afford to take the full-on engagement with this many Razorbacks. Oh, that's quite nice. Pardon me, this cough, man, won't leave me alone. That was a really nice EMP right there. Stunned a whole bunch of those Marauder, but also caught one of those Razorback here. And with the rework on, it means that Razorback is not going to be firing at full efficiency here for a good long while. Down it goes. Well, 100% effective trade right there. I don't think there was anything lost for the Lavender commander. Oh, that is a good little use for those Twilights. Feel like we'd never see those very effectively used. That was very nicely done. Shiva, meanwhile, haven't been stopped yet. Those T3 boats, or, well, T2 boats, I suppose, not able to actually traverse over here. That's good to know. I wonder if that's because of the commander explosions, or if that's just base on the shallow ground over there. Either way, yeah, Shiva have not been dealt with. Sheldon trying desperately to shell away at them. Shiva going to thwart their attackers with high-impact condensed matter rounds. Going to be showing away. Down they go. Plasma balls might be deflected here, but the rockets sure won't be. Only 3 Shiva remain, though. Down goes the build power. And those shields are starting to fail as well. Down goes the shield projector. Oh, that starts to hurt. All of the fighters have been pulled. Yep. Deciding it's time to go across the map and just sweep across whatever air force is available. Turns out, not much of an air force at all. There's not enough anti-air here in the mix either. And it looks like these yellow fighters are uncontested from Strawberry. If I were her, it would definitely mean it's time for a bombing run. First thing that comes to my mind is a bombing run if my fighters aren't getting shot down. Certainly seems like that's the right idea here. Whole lot of T2 sharpshooters built in a big wall over here, though. These are definitely meant as an anti-Marauder, anti-Razorback, anti-Titan, even if you have just 1 or 2 of them. Very powerful at cleaning up those T3 units. A very efficient way of cleaning up those T3 units, too. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about sometimes it's not really about how well you can clean up the T3, it's about how efficiently you can clean up the T3 without taking damage. Essentially, that's the T3 superpower, is just the fact that they're so bulky, no matter how much damage you do to them, they're gonna scoot on by regardless. And yeah, I was thinking about how that's one of the reasons why sharpshooters are so well, wonderful is one word for it. It's because of the fact that they can efficiently deal with T3 more so than virtually any other unit. Thor over on the left-hand side has got to be pretty uncomfortable for the Maroon player. Still on T2, not quite into that T3 game yet, and it's going to be really difficult to deal with that Thor regardless, even if you are on T3. They're just ridiculously strong. Couple of Despots pushing through over here. I think after that big fighter pull, the red team has been essentially persuaded that, yeah, things are okay over there. Maybe we can move some units in. And indeed, Despot going to be more than happy to, yeah, go ahead and make their way on over. Now, there are some submarines. Those are going to be great. It's the one weakness of the Despot, save for aerial harassment. I suppose there's two weaknesses of the Despot. One of them being submarine fire, and the other one being, of course, the bomber harassment, gunship harassment, anything in the air. I think this T1 submarine spam is going to be more than enough to clean up these Despots here, actually. Yeah. Nice response by Narnuk, using appropriately the resources he has on hand in order to address the oncoming issue here. Nicely done. What was originally a tremendous lead here for the Blue Commander has suddenly turned into a little bit of a back foot situation. Yeah, Commander being overwhelmed by pawns right now. Marauder gets overwhelmed by pawns as well. There's just too many of them, Captain. The pawns leak on through, shutting down the remnants of the economy here. Oh, that starts to hurt pretty bad. We do have some fusion reactors and a whole bunch of energy converters over here, so at the very least, the Blue Commander not out of the game in terms of, yeah, keeping the energy up and alive here, but certainly going to be not feeling so great as far as the economic battle goes, at least in comparison to how they've been feeling for the last couple of minutes or so. Heavy strategic bombers out for Strawberry now. She's ready to go for a killing blow across the, well, the face of the blue team here. Little bit of an Air Force still building up here right now, but Samid has no more energy converters. Looks like those were popped at one point. Build power went down. Yeah, that really starts to hurt. We have a single Marauder over here as well, picking apart the little island base, I suppose, that the purple player has access to. Purple player, known by crop rotation, or known as crop rotation, has completely shifted focus, gone for the underwater gantry over here. Looks like we have the experimental units available, or the perspective units, I think is that what they call them? Whatever it is, I always forget the name for that setting. Those are enabled, so we can see these demons coming up right now. The demons are very powerful, by the way. I've gotten to play with them quite a good bit by now. Let me tell you, they are a force to be reckoned with, for sure. Bunch of Krakens, the long-range battle submarines now firing away over here. Extremely powerful submarine, capable of melting away even the thickest of armor here. And yeah, indeed, you can see it. A couple of those Despots going down every single couple of times that these are firing here. There's another one picked off. Very, very powerful submarine. Several thousand metal worth of submarine per submarine. Yeah, almost 2,000 metal per submarine right here. Did basically the best that they can, but there's just so much metal and Despots right here. A lot of it was resurrected, which is really nice to see. It's very efficient, of course. It's hard to argue with that much damage. The bombing run already happened and I missed it? It must have. Must have already happened. I'm looking for signs of bomber. That or it was shut down by anti-air, but I'm guessing that probably wasn't the case. I must have missed it. Sincere apologies to Strawberry for missing what I'm sure was a killer bombing run. Nuclear missile launched across the map. Oh, and it will collide with another base in the backline over here. That burns so bad for Fiddler, who already lost their base once and now has to rebuild from the ashes once more. That really stings. It's a burn on the back of an open wound. Really, really starts to hurt. Bedbugs now shutting down Marauder. Bit of a funky counter, but it does work, and especially if you self-destruct these. We're not self-destructing them right now, the bedbugs, that is. If you self-destruct them, they do, I want to say, almost 3 times as much damage. Extremely, extremely powerful. There's a reason why I nerf those whenever we play them on the stream. Or rather, whenever we play this stream, I nerf those. It's because they can do such a tremendous amount of work. Unfortunate to see that get degunned right there. That demon was a significant investment, but nicely done right there by Sus Cheese, at the very least fortifying that coastline for a little while. Nice inclusion of the anti-air boats over here. Going to keep some of these Despots up and alive. For the time being, anyways. There we go. I was going to say, I think these can probably fire away. Hit most of the build power over there. There we go. Yeah, a lot of the build power gets destroyed. Bombers focus down the anti-air, and now these are all going to be void. Yeah, all those are going to be bombed to smithereens right now. Oh, maybe I didn't miss the bombing run. Maybe we're just getting ready for it right now. Yeah, it feels like both teams sort of recoiled a little bit. They both punched each other in the face and stumbled back a couple of steps, realizing, wait a minute, how much damage did we take here? Are we still in the game? Despite what both teams believe here, this is actually a very slanted match in the red team's favor, at least for the time being here, with 1k metal income. A lot of that coming from reclaim right here, but still, whether it comes from reclaim or whether it comes from production, 1k metal income is 1k metal income. Even without the reclaim, though, it looks like it's about a 200 metal lead. And Sushji's commander in just the perfect position right here to D-gun down any of these demons that come waddling up the shore. Very, very nicely done. We have some banshees even trying to help out over here. They will pop the build power. Okay, nice. Perfect use case for those banshees. They're excellent for sniping some of those weaker structures. Energy converters work too, wind turbines just as well. And of course, anything that can't shoot back at them. And that includes a whole host of naval options over here. Yeah, the blue team gonna have to eco like absolutely mad. I think losing this base back here really hindered the blue team. I think that was a significant source of economy here. Losing that definitely renders the blue team well in debt here as far as the metal economy goes. Yeah, you can see pink player doing an excellent job of continuing to apply the economic pressure here. Continuing to build aphises, continuing to build those energy converters, continuing to step up the economy one, well, step at a time. Another nuke up in the air here. Do we have anti-nuke up and running? I feel like we definitely should. My goodness, it is close. Not the case. Samid goes down. The anti-nuke was just a bit too slow. Oh, that burns so bad, but an excellent nuke right there from the orange commander. How many kills does that nuke have? My goodness, 124 kills on that nuclear launcher right there. There's the bombing run, by the way. Yep, looks like Strawberry's ready to close out this game as well. Bombs the base of the Glockland down to ruin and rubble. Fusion reactor debris. What is that over there? Advanced bot lab debris. Basically all that's left standing. There is some anti-air still shooting away at some of these bombers over here. Oh, we gotta spread them out a little bit. Oh, they're clumping up a little too hard over here. Oh no. Losing so many of these bombers before they get to their target destination. Well, that bombing run was a little bit of a flop, but still taking out another one of these bases over here, definitely whittling down the forces. There's a couple of Thors marching through though. We do have the pawn spam to support over here. That's one tricky problem with this map. There's no way you can use tick spam like you normally would be able to. The river prevents it. Ticks are well, yeah, ticks are not amphibious, non-submersible. There's Sushji's commander moving into position over here. Oh, it's spotted for just a second. Oh, the Thors take so long to swing their heads around though. Oh no. One shot goes off. Takes two in order to kill a commander though. Oh, it's close. I don't think the green commander realized. Yeah, I don't think Snoop saw that those got D-gunned down right there. Otherwise, I think he probably would have used some of those pawns in order to try and clean up that commander here by ramming him into the commander while it's cloaked. Body blocking to try and give the commander a shot here. Oh, shoots down the commander, but also gets D-gunned just in the nick of time right there. Sushji's absolutely saving the day because I don't think there was basically any other way to save that there. That Thor would have been able to go on and pop all these advanced fusion reactors over here. Might have been able to shut down these aphises down here as well. Could have been a tremendous pain for the red team to deal with. Not going to be the case though. Nicely done by Sushji's cleaning up that Thor here, making sure that the well, yeah, the red team has at the very least firm control over the middle of the map. Razorback's going to be excellent for spam control here, essentially shutting down the pawn spam. No reason to keep that going right now as the cyan green commander, and indeed, Snoop does turn it off. That's quite nice. Still pumping out Thors, and I think it's probably not a bad idea. We'll love to see those saved up again and used for a little bit of an offensive push. Samid rebuilding in the backline right here, trying to get a laboratory and an economy and all that good stuff up and running once more. Always so disheartening to have to rebuild like that. Capital Ship has made it all the way across the map, by the way, Link 74. Now the red team controlling entirely the naval. Went from the blue team controlling the entire naval theater to the red team controlling the entire naval theater. What a switchback. Did not see that coming. Black Hydra firing away over here. A little bit of an interesting use case for the Black Hydra. Eco-harassment. But I'm sure it's happy to destroy whatever it can. Doesn't exactly strike me as the kind of ship that really cares what it has to destroy. Just, you know, kind of just happy to be pointed in the right direction. Nuclear bombers out here for Angry Strawberry. Just looking for a ripe target for them. Frankly speaking, there's not a whole lot of them. A couple of aphises over here. Going to be a good target. Yeah, those long-range anti-air missile launchers trying to fire away here. We only need 2 of these bombers here. Love to see those split off so we didn't lose all 4 of them. We could have bombed those 2 and then also gone and bombed all of these, but either way, another crippling blow right here to the blue team. And this is just falling quickly out of reach right now. Yeah, for the blue team. Excellently played by the red team. Still sticking in this match, even after losing all their Navy. Excellently done by the Hot Pink commander, who managed to step out in the ocean, realize that they needed to make a quick transition into the ocean, absolutely saving this match by keeping the pressure in the ocean high and allowing their team to recuperate there. Definitely affording a lot of flexibility, because basically every bombing run that we've seen this game has come from the ocean or from the side in some way. Essentially every one of those, every one of those bombing runs was enabled by the fact that the oceans were available right here. Another nuke collides across the map over here, shuts down all of the production for the purple player. Boy, does that gotta sting. Once more, Samid gets shut down. Yeah, Marauder taking down all of the metal extractors here, and indeed, that will be Samid, as well as the rest of the blue team tapping out here as red manages to seize victory. What a fun one. Very, very back and forth. Did not expect that flip-floppity right there in the high seas. I really thought blue had it for the longest time just because of their ocean dominance. But man, what a thrill. If you enjoyed this one, you can always show your appreciation by leaving a like down below and subscribing. And don't forget, February is the month of Bar. Go join up in the official Beyond All Reason Bar Pro League Discord. Don't forget to join my Discord. Don't forget to join the official Beyond All Reason Discord. I'll see you on those Twitch training events. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace out, folks.